Hi, this is Kimberley. There's been very little updates on Gannon Stauch in the past few days, but it's a couple of little things that came up today. Well, not so little, but one is that there's been a petition started for Gannon's Law that would classify all missing children as endangered. It says the petition started by Taryn Witt and aimed at the El Paso County Sheriff's Office calls for law enforcement to give the endangered designation to all missing youth, including runaways. Stauch was first reported missing on January 27th, but the sheriff's office didn't label the case as missing endangered youth until days later. That designation then opened up the availability of more resources through the National Center for Missing and Endangered Children. So I'm going to leave a link to this petition in this news story for those that are interested. In addition, the family of Gannon Stauch is warning against some online fundraisers, and there's a little news story that talks about that and it explains how to proceed if you care to donate. And then I've picked up a few other stories that you may or may not have seen, but that I thought was interesting. A reporter gives his perspective on the story of getting that surveillance tape for Gannon. I thought that was really interesting. So just a couple of other things. I have the videos in order of occurrence from earliest February 4th, I believe is the first one, until today. And yes, I am working on chapter 20 of My Daddy is a Zero. It should be uploaded later tonight, actually, if all goes as planned. So thank you for listening.
The search for 11-year-old Gannon Stauch in Colorado Springs continues. Today, the search has shifted to a new surveillance video that's been released by a neighbor that could dispute his stepmother's story. I'm joined now by Denver 7's Tom Mustin. Tom, it was your excellent reporting that uncovered this video.
Well, it was a lot of good people reporting on this. Actually, we went down there yesterday in a blinding snowstorm, really not knowing what we were going to get. And so we started knocking on doors and talking to neighbors. And we had our interview already done with one neighbor. We were heading back and we got a tip that one of the other neighbors had some surveillance video. And so we thought, we're here, let's go. So we knocked on the door and we got the person who took the video's wife. And she said, well, my husband works at Home Depot a little ways away, but I think he'll talk to you. So we got on the phone with her, kind of FaceTimed, and he agreed to talk to us. So we drove 30 minutes away to Fountain, where he was working at the Home Depot. And he basically said, here's what I have, Tom. I've got video showing the stepmother going into the car with the little boy at the time that she said he'd left the house. The car drives off, and then I have video showing her coming back without the little boy. So that's what he said. And he said when he went and showed that video to the father, Gannon's father, that he broke down in tears and said, I knew it, I knew she was lying. So again, this is not incriminating anybody yet, because the sheriff's office is really not talking a lot, but what he said was pretty eye-opening, and it's really started a lot of doors opening today for a lot of different stations.
Raises a lot of questions
Sure.
about the timeline that the stepmother had said when he went missing.
Right.
Talking with that neighbor, what was his reaction like? Why was he even, searching through his surveillance video?
Well, he said there was just something about it. He said he was watching the coverage, the local Colorado Springs coverage. He said there was something about it that didn't add up, because he knows the little boy. He said the day that he disappeared, he saw Gannon playing with his sister outside. He said hi to him, and he said it just didn't add up. And he was home from work. He said, I have this surveillance video. I think it was pointing right there. Let me look at it. So he went to the time that she said that he'd gone to the friend's house, rewound it, saw that get in a car, and then he rewound it back to when she came back. And he said in between, we never saw the little boy anywhere. So he said, I don't know what this means, if anything, but I wanted to give it to police. And as soon as he gave the video to police on Sunday, they were there Monday all day processing evidence with the crime lab, and that's when we got there.
Wow.
So,
what was it like walking through that neighborhood doing those door knocks? It can often be an uncomfortable thing
Right.
to interrupt someone's day, especially to talk about something that is, so disturbing.
And Jess, you've been there. You know what it's like. I mean, also the Colorado Springs station has been covering this, ad nauseum for for a week now, actually a week. And so we went down there, and I didn't know if people were going to yell at us. A couple of them just said, absolutely, do not want to talk to the media. Other ones were very receptive. And they said, look, I want to talk about what a great family this is and what a great little boy it is. So there were people that were willing to talk. You just had to, and it's a numbers game, as you know, as a reporter. Just the more doors you knock on, someone will talk to you. And so we got a lot of insight into this family. And there was some conflict, apparently with the stepmother and the mom too, and there's a lot of inside baseball with the family stuff. But we were just happy that the people would chat with us, and we got lucky with Roderick Drayton. So.
Absolutely, but also great reporting, and I'm sure you're going to be knocking on a lot more doors
Yes.
tonight as you continue to follow this story. We want to thank you so much, Tom, and we're going to continue to follow this story and hope that Gannon is found safe.
Exactly.
Yes, that video was given to investigators here at the El Paso County Sheriff's Office yesterday, the same day that crime scene investigators were back out at the house looking for new evidence. And if that video shows what the neighbor who took it says it does, it could change everything.
What we can let you know is that it is in fact a part of our investigation.
Gannon was first reported missing by his stepmother at 6:55 p.m. She said he was last seen at home between 3:15 and 4. That video of her returning home alone was taken around 2:15.
The timeline in this entire case is going to be looked at.
As for who is being looked at, the Sheriff's Department wouldn't comment on suspects or persons of interest.
Kids and parents continue along the sidewalks.
He just been missing for a week now, and I'm really scared.
9-year-old Susie Salvadrez chalked a message of support for her classmate Gannon.
I wrote, "Gannon, please come home."
Then got on her knees in front of this sign.
I prayed for him.
Praying next to a woman who spent hours doing the same, to the point that she had to start stretching out her legs.
It's absolutely amazing what this community has done.
Only 11 years old, he's like so many boys who enjoy Sonic the Hedgehog, but has also taken an interest in coding. His smile, his jokes, part of their daily routine, they pray will not become memory. But even with so many ups and downs, they believe he is alive and they will see him again. Hundreds of tips coming into the El Paso County Sheriff's Office already, but this family asking for more people to come forward.
The lights on the street where Gannon Stauch lives are all blue, a show of his favorite color, with the hope that he'll soon come home and see them. As the snow continues to fall here in Colorado Springs, it's another night that the Stauch family wonders where their son is. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office, with the help of Colorado Parks and Wildlife, used a special remote-controlled submarine to search a reservoir near the family's home today. The drone has sonar equipment attached to it that helps crews see if there's anything in the lake. Divers have not been called in to help, but more than 100 volunteers, 4 deputies on horseback, and 3 canine units searched for Gannon today.
It's all mind-blowing.
Stephanie Kane just moved to Oklahoma mid-January, but last had contact with Letitia Stauch, Gannon's stepmother, shortly after his disappearance. For a year, she would babysit overnight for the Stauch family whenever they went away and became friends with who she calls Tisha.
I think she's innocent. She's not the type of person that will do something like this.
What is she like?
I mean, she never even spanked those kids. She wasn't the one to get on to them. She always let Albert do that.
Kane is trying to help clear her friend's name after this interview touched off serious backlash online.
She didn't sound like she was hiding anything, like that's just the way she is.
People from across the country following the case, some criticizing her social media posts.
I would be losing my mind too. I think she's overwhelmed.
Kane says Letitia may not have her phone and she thinks she deactivated her Facebook last night. You just think that there's no way that she would have done anything to him?
I'm not saying, I don't know, I don't know, but I'm saying that I don't think, my personal opinion, I don't think so. I don't know. I don't think she'd do something like that. I mean, 'cause she is a friend.
Kane can't tell us what she said to investigators, but says she's had several calls with them. As for the latest in the search with the sheriff's office here, we just got out of an interview with them a few minutes ago. They say they've had about 382 tips now, and here's a soundbite from what they said when they spoke with us.
Well, we did have some searches happen in some very specific areas based on the tips and the leads that have been called into the tip line. And so, again, that is going to continue. The tips and the leads keep increasing. And so sometimes those lead to other leads, and we follow those until they are all exhausted.
The Restoration Church, where Gannon, his stepmother and father would regularly attend, first offered up their grounds to make a pop-up command center 2 weeks ago.
He's just a precious little guy, handsome and fun and all boy, and you know, we miss the high fives of him coming through the hallways.
As the search locations and efforts changed, they found a new way to foster support.
To give right there.
Creating a donation page on the Restoration Church website with 100% going to the family weekly.
They're overwhelmed by the love and support, whether it be the prayers, the search efforts, the financial efforts. I think it just moves them to a place of encouragement in just some tough times.
It was indicated that they had a sighting of him, and that again is a part of the investigation. But I will tell you, after reviewing of the footage, the Come and Go had to put in a ticket, an IT ticket, to get that video footage, and it took approximately 24 hours for us to review the footage. So we were basing that off of an eyewitness.
Of the Find Gannon Facebook groups needs to keep their guard up. Whether you're trying to donate to Gannon's family or to the search efforts, there are some safe ways to do so. Nearly 4 weeks since Gannon Stauch's disappearance comes another fight for the family, a pop-up of seemingly fake donation pages. According to Gannon's aunt, one post claimed to be raising funds for nationwide billboards with Gannon's face. Another said a reward would be issued if he was returned within 48 hours. The family says there is no validity to these. The El Paso County Sheriff's Office tweeted Saturday saying we cannot confirm the legitimacy or speak on any fundraisers established. Gannon's aunt says, while we are aware there are many efforts to help Landon and Albert during this unimaginable and horrific time, we are not participating in anything law enforcement has warned us against.
You know, we miss the high fives of him coming through the hallways.
Pastor Paul Aragon got to know Gannon as he frequently went to Restoration Church. That's why he set up a legitimate fundraiser through the church's website, with 100% of the proceeds going to Gannon's family weekly.
They're overwhelmed by the love and support, whether it be the prayers, the search efforts.
If you'd like to help law enforcement continue those efforts, the best thing to do is to donate through the El Paso County Sheriff's Office website. As for the status of Gannon's case, the El Paso County Sheriff's Office says this is a fluid investigation and search efforts can start up at any time depending on where the investigation leads them.
There she goes.
you never really like met her or talked to her?